Today we're looking at EtonRifle, a Bronze 1 Ana. They requested this review on the Overwatch University subreddit, where they wrote, "I'm trying to go up in rank. I get as high as Silver 1, and my rank plummets. I'm trying to use natural cover, open up angles. I'm trying to keep my damage up, but it's really difficult when my teammates are face tanking. Could anyone help, please? Movement, positioning, etc. I need to know what I'm doing wrong to fix it and improve." Yeah, we'll take a look. First thing we always want to do is take a look at our team comp. So we got Maga, Bastion Sojourn, Ana Lifeweaver. So we're running a Maga comp. He's going to need a bit of babysitting, and hopefully our team just plays with him, all kind of follows up on what he's doing. For you, in addition to healing him, I'd like to see you try to nade the people he's focusing. That could be really good. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so a couple things here. You know, you took a little bit of damage. I understand ducking, but now you're staying in spawn, scoping in. I'd like to see you hip fire and start walking forward with your team. The other thing too is, you know, your team is all full HP and you're still like a little focused on healing them, especially early on in the fight. I'd like to see you just try to go for a little bit more damage. Whichever team puts the pressure on first generally ends up giving an advantage, because through the damage you can often, you know, bait the enemy's cooldowns out without using your own. Just one of the reasons why early damage in a fight before your team starts taking a lot of pressure is important. You know, as you know, your Maga starts soaking up damage, absolutely turn to help him, but yeah, try to get the damage out early. Like, see how they're all full HP, your shots really aren't doing much. Sojourn might need a little help though. Good though. Okay, so like right here, your Maga is purple. I kind of understand before, you know, he was taking a lot of damage, but your healing shots aren't going to do anything while this anti-effect is on him. Meanwhile, you know, we could see the Bercy and we could see the Ana clearly. When this happens, you want to just take a break, just try to shoot them a little bit. Then, you know, if your Maga is still crit, if he really needs that healing, absolutely turn to heal him once that anti-effect expires. I mean, obviously, he's still going to be crit when that expires, but you know what I mean. So same thing, I'd like to see you, you know, hip fire and start walking forward, where see how like your Sojourn and your Lifeweaver have a better angle where they can not only see like your Maga, they can see the enemy team to go for their damage and abilities. And you know, if they take some pressure, they could just move left and they can use this cover. They can quickly duck behind if necessary. 3 things I always say to think about when it comes to support positioning. You could try to nade that. Nice try. Yeah, be a little bit careful. You're very exposed here. You know, you could try to play a little bit tighter, or at least, very least, you know, open up, go for some shots, and then as soon as you start taking pressure, you want to just be able to, like I said, quickly duck behind the cover. You're just kind of going for healing. Like to see go for a little more damage. Yeah, so we were kind of just, we opened, like I said, like early on, we were just kind of focused on healing. And by the time we started going for damage, it was a little bit too late. I want to see you do the opposite. Start with damage, then heal your team as necessary. Yeah. You would have killed the Genji if he wasn't getting healed. A nice try. Okay, so we got a Ram now. You have Nano. Honestly, wait until Ram like really commits and pops Nemesis form. I would just Nano him in. Same thing I said before. Hip fire and walk forward. Maybe we might have been in a better angle to help Lifeweaver there. But we are even. Yeah, watch out for the soldier in the back line. Like, see, your junk died. But okay, Sojourn takes care of him. Nice nade. Yeah, just farm up this hog now. Okay. Ah, you stepped in the pig pen. All right, I like this. You know, taking this high ground, just so you're not in the middle of the fight if they come to recontest. Very nicely done. So now you're in a good position to, like, just land a nade, go for damage on people. Nice try with the nade. Went a little too far. Yeah, so especially if you're going to play Ana, just keep working on your aim. It's bronze, so I understand, but a couple things. I'll put a couple workshop codes in the video description for you. One of them is VAXTA. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that for aim training. The other one I'll put is the Ana Nade tool. You can use any kind of arcing projectile in it, and it'll visually show you how it will land. And you can use that to try to figure out how to throw your nades. You can also use it for any other arcing projectile, like Zarya's secondary fire, BAP's healing, anything like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Next time, think twice.
Nice. Fast forward a little bit. Be a little careful with the Genji. So with Genji, just be a little bit careful about opening up with sleep, especially if he deflects it. Really good thing for dueling Genji as Ana is it's usually better to open with the nade, especially like, I know he hasn't done it yet, but like if he commits on you, throwing the nade on the ground so it hits the two of you, can be really good. You just want to make absolute sure you don't throw it directly at him. You want to throw it on the ground so it splashes on him just in case he deflects. Need that? Okay. You know, you died, but see how low he is? He gets cleansed though. He does die. He only kills you and then he dies with the blade, so.
Thank you. It's go time.
This is not the end. I'm on fire.
Life protects life.
Yeah, you can sleep the hog. Okay, so against hog, the opposite. You want to open, like, especially if he's whole hogging, he's pushing your team around, disrupting them. You want to try to just open up with the sleep, just so you know, disrupt the ult, take a little bit of time, waste it for a couple seconds, assuming your team doesn't wake up the hog. But yeah, and then, you know, as he's sitting there, as he's you know, easy to shoot, you can just land a shot, throw the nade, and then hopefully your team can you know, follow up and finish him off. The same thing, you can open up a little bit. So honestly, this hog is low. Like, you could just turn and shoot him real quick. Like, Lifeweaver's healing your ram. I get he's taking a lot of damage, but, you know, he can block, and hopefully Lifeweaver can keep him alive. I would just literally turn, nade the hog, even just shoot him, and you could probably kill him there. But he also just walks into Ram's annihilation and dies anyway, so all good. Nice sleep. Okay, so let's actually back that up. So nice sleep. You know, she was taking a lot of damage. She's absolute here. Instead of nading her, I'd just shoot her. You know, she was absolute. She's easy to hit. You don't need to use your nade there. I really want you to just try to identify when you need nade versus when you don't. Because what you could do is, as like, see how like Soldier Kiriko are here, you could throw it on them, you know, instead. And that would just be much more value than, you know, using it on something where you could have just used a shot for instead. Definitely just try to think about when you need nade versus when you don't, just because of how impactful the ability is. But, you know, we cap, so it's all good. Yeah, be a little bit careful about being out in the open. So, after you killed the Moira there, you know, you found yourself in this position here. What I would have done is, instead of, you know, you don't want to rotate like right in the middle of point and like be right in the middle of the fight as Ana. That's really bad. So what I would just try to do is, you know, you could stay here. You could just play off to the side, you know, use this cover. You can rotate back, grab this health pack. This is a much safer area where instead of, you know, being like right in the middle of the fight, you can play back and just focus on your teammates and helping them out.
I go out on my terms.
Appreciate it.
Could have thrown Nade there, but that's fine. That was a good Nade too. You know, ball was like right in the middle of everybody, half HP. Throwing the Nade to just confirm you guys get the kill is really good.
It's go time.
Okay. You could even think about nanoing Sojourn, but especially in bronze, like nanoing the tank is usually a safer bet, so that's fine. What I wouldn't do here though is, you know how you're like kind of in the middle of point. Same thing we talked about. Think about playing back. You know, you could like play over here to just help your team from, you know, a safe distance. You could even like rotate over here, play this area. If people are coming out from this spawn, if they start pressuring you, you know, back up, grab the health pack, drop back down here with your team. Things you can think about. You definitely don't want to be like on point in the middle of where the fight's going to take place as Ana. You want to try to avoid that. See how like you're looking around, like doing these big movements to try to chase the ball? If you play back a little bit, you'll be able to see everywhere he is. It's just much smaller movements on your screen. It just playing back a little bit, especially on Ana, will just help you keep track of everything. It'll not only make your aim easier, it'll make your decision making easier as well. But it's fine, we still kill him. Try to get a nade.
Life protects life.
Okay. Nice. See how the next round goes.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
All right, they got Maga now. Yeah, Nade was a little far, but yeah, your team was pushed a little bit far forward. People weren't on the same page. Like the DPS were pushed really far. They hung out there. Meanwhile, like you and Ram are back here, so kind of unfortunate. Yeah, back up. So what you want to try to do here is you want to try to like back into this room right here. This is really good. You know, you can play around these areas, get the vision you need while staying safe. You can grab the health pack if you need be. And if need be, sorry. And if the fight, if the fight's lost, you can also just retreat and rotate back here to escape without dying. Once again, you are like right on the middle of point. See how like Genji can just focus you down? Definitely want to play off point.
I still have some fight in me.
Objective lost. Area denied. Stop the payload.
I got you.
So especially, you know, you're 50 to nano, we could definitely think about just trying to farm it up a little bit more with damage. So I like how you're playing a little safe, but you could open up slightly. You want to be careful about the Hanzo though. That's the only thing. If he starts looking at you, definitely back to where you are right now. But otherwise, you know, open up, look for a little bit more damage. Yeah, hip fire and move, especially when your Mog is pushing up like this. Oh, your Life Weaver messed up your sleep, but he did save you too, so. Yeah, I mean, you weren't getting shot. I do kind of understand, you know, it looked like you thought your Maga was, actually, let's watch it back. Just so I can be sure. Yeah, so he kind of LOSs you. I think you probably think he's rotating back. So you start to rotate back and then realize he's going to be in your LOS after all. So, I don't really blame you for that. That's just you and him not being on the same cage and him not being aware of where you are. You have Nano here. So definitely, especially when Maga cage fights, you could definitely think about nanoing him just to make sure he can burst people down before he dies himself. Okay. He got purpled. Yeah, think about just throwing Nade as soon as you get it. Yeah, so you had Nade here. I mean, Maga dies anyway, which is good, but like, especially in like when your Maga is cage fighting, he's got everybody in close quarters. I would just think about just nading the ground and getting that on everybody the moment that cooldown comes back. You could even just like have your finger on the button just so the moment the cooldown comes back, you're throwing the nade. But it's okay. You guys win the fight nonetheless. Heal your Sojourn. You can scope in. Okay, so we just saw Maga there, so you just want to be a little bit careful. I wouldn't, you know, once again, you don't want to be out in the open. I would think about backing up this way. You know, you could play over here. At least play like behind the rubbish bin right here, just so you can get safe vision, and then you can figure out where you need to rotate from there. A little too far on the nade, but see how like you're out in the open, like Maga charges in and you're caught out. So same thing. I just want you to think a little bit more about cover. You don't want to be like where everybody can easily see you and everybody can easily just push into you. You want to be able to like duck and LOS people, so you know you're not you won't be actively taking damage. You can let the support passive kick in to heal you, and you want to be able to just move away, you know, as the enemy team moves forward.
So I preferred the payload when it wasn't moving. The tree is falling.
Yeah, nice try. Yeah, so this fight's lost. So what I would think about doing is just go into spawn here, wait for the spawns to change, and then press the interact button to warp to the new spawn. Because they're going to cap. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess your tank and your team is still pushing here, so... Be careful about the Hanzo. Nice try. Yeah, it's a little tough. Okay, so right here. I mean, I had this habit too for a while. It took me a while to get out of this, but when Mog is charging, he is immune to your sleep dart and all CC. So you just want to hold on to that and wait for him to slam. Then, you know, you can sleep him. But it looks like he's gonna get the kill regardless. Just a general tip against Maga. Pretty much any form of CC except hack is, Actually, no, it's immune to hack. What am I saying?
Life protects life.
And try to go for some damage until the... Yeah, he was purpled. Nice try. Very good nade, though. You know, you splashed it against the Tree of Life, so it, you know, it got on Hanzo and Ana. That was very well done by you. Farm up Maga a little bit as he's hanging out there. So once again, early in the fight, you know, your team is basically full HP. You want to just try to farm up some damage. Put some pressure on the Maga, force his cardiac overdrive, like shoot the Ana. They weren't feeling as much pressure as they could have, and you know, your Bastion dies. They're pushing up. I want to rotate. That's a little tough. Okay, so I kind of understand here, you know? You were in this position and the enemy team is pushing up. So, excuse me. So I understand wanting to rotate away from them. That's the right thought process. But playing once again, like right down here, like right in the middle of point, where you're easy to focus down out in the open is very dangerous. You could think about maybe like backing up back here. The only difficulty with that is, you know, you could be easy to dive. I mean, Genji could go after you. Moira could go too. Another thing you could think about is, you know, backing up this way, you know, where you can see Maga as you can, grab the health pack, and then see how Bastion's coming back. Just wait for him, and then you guys can push and fight together. It's a little tough, though, because your Mog is kind of out here by himself, too. You might be leaving him by himself if you do that. But, like, see what I mean? Like, you're right in the middle of, like, point out in the open, and you die very quickly. All right, go to the next round.
Ready for battle.
He said all that?
Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
Okay. So your team is playing playing a little bit closer than most people do to start. So I've talked about this before in a few VODs, but right here, you're not going to be able to do anything for a while except heal. We want to be able to, once again, especially early on in the fight, we want to be able to get our sleeps, nades, and damage out. So let's think about it like this. Is your team and the enemy team first going to make contact and start fighting? Pretty much right now, as soon as they get out of spawn. But what's going to happen is you, as we said, you can't contribute anything to the fight besides just healing your team. You can't go for a nade. You can't go for a sleep. You can't get any damage out. The enemy team is going to have to take all this space right here before you can get vision to do that. So we want to think about, like, if our team is taking this, like, aggressive angle, we want to take it with them. One thing I will do on defense for Hollywood as Ana and Zen is I'll start like right up here and try to get, like, as Ana, I'll try to get a spawn nade. As Zen, I'll try to get a 5 orb. Then, you know, you back up over here. You know, you can duck like underneath the cart. Just try to farm up some damage as the enemy team's pushing forward. Then, you know, as the enemy team continues pushing up, you rotate back this way. Back to this position over here. I think CarQ was the one who first showed that movement on first point defense Hollywood to me, and that's what I do always. But yeah, here specifically, you know, when your team's playing over here, I would think about playing like in this room, just so you can, you know, get the damage, get better vision, and still be able to support them and be able to safely back away. Like, see, you're just basically topping off your Mog as he takes tiny little chip damage. This is a point in the fight where Not anymore, but at the very beginning, that was a point where getting some damage out would have been more valuable. But that was a nice nade. Our team's able to follow up on it, and nice try. Hey, you want to back up now? So I'd prefer to, I'd prefer to play like I said before over here. But you're down a tank. It's a little bit tough, and you want to avoid the Hanzo too. So I kind of understand playing over here. Just be ready to duck in this room if need be. You could try to nade that, especially like when Genji's jumping in the air. Throwing the nade on the ground so it splashes into him would help your team confirm the kill. Yeah, same thing with the sleep. You got to remember, Maga's charge is resistant to CC. I was doing that out of habit too. It's like shooting a charging Rhine. I mean, sleeping a charging Rhine. So no judgment here. Yeah, here I would back up. I wouldn't even risk this. See how low you are? Yeah, you take the nade. I would honestly, once you realize the point's going to be lost, you can just take this elevator here, maybe play on high ground. At the very least, like play back where you are now to start, or where your team is. Because it's overtime now. You guys just got to win one fight and you win the round. So it's very crucial that we, stay alive here until our team comes back. Yeah, be careful about, you don't want to straight up duel the Hanzo when he's looking at you. Nice shots though. You could even you saw he was low there. You could even just throw the nade like right in that room and you could probably confirm the kill. Yeah, be careful. You got the sim wall. So as long as you just play behind it, you're good. Yeah, good cage fight by your Maga. Definitely try to get the nade out as soon as you can. Yeah, so I would think about, I kind of understand backing off. A couple things you could do is once the enemy team thinks like you could juke the enemy team into thinking like you're, taking the high ground, running away. Then you could push back up, maybe nano your Maga to finish off the kill. Another thing you could do is you could actually like take the high ground, but that might be a little bit of inactivity as the fight's taking place. Yeah, like, okay, this is what I would do. I would have honestly tried to get that nano out, but that's fine. See how the last round goes.
Support your local bombardier.
2-1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Oh, your carry code dies. That's unfortunate. Okay. You could try to, I would honestly, for the nades, you threw it really early. Wait until your Maga pushes in. Like I was saying at the beginning, as he's pushing and focusing targets, that's when you want to throw the nade, just so you could be sure he could follow up on it. But be a little bit careful. Hey, don't even worry about this MTP. Okay, yeah, your team died there. So let's talk about that right there. So we're low ammo here. We're only 5. You could honestly, at this point, we killed the Mei, we got an advantage. You could just take the time to reload right here. But what you do is you start you're still you're only 2 ammo now. You're trying to shoot the sim TP. Honestly, I mean, I could kind of understand shooting the turret, but I would forget about the TP. Just start trying to heal your Maga a little bit as he's soaking up all this damage. Because what happens is, here we got to reload, and now our team is crit. Yeah, so, especially, I want you to try to see, if you have a second where it's not imminent that you need to get the healing out, you could take that time to quickly reload, especially like we said, your sim got the kill on the Mei. We had an advantage. But yeah, just think about your ammo management, and think about, like, you know, if you only have 6 bullets in your clip, you don't want to be shooting a sim TP. That's gonna probably, your team's probably gonna melt anyway. You want to think about using those to, like, heal your team or do damage as necessary.
I am at the objective. We must take it quickly. I claim the objective. Oh.
And now we're kind of staggering. Yeah, so your sim and your Kiriko kind of just commit on that without your tank and the rest of you guys. So that's just kind of feels bad. Yeah, I would back out. Yeah, your Echo just kind of hangs out there, dies quick. Okay, be careful. We're low HP. Try to get this nade out. Yeah, I would just try to nade that. So definitely, the moment we got that nade off cooldown, we wanted to think about throwing it on our Maga and on the enemies. For one, to keep our Maga alive, to boost the healing, so we could, shoot him, try to keep him alive, and also get the purple on the enemy team. But honestly, like, I chalk most of this round up to your team just kind of staggering, and yeah, I don't know if there was much you could have done overall. But yeah, nice job. I want you to think a little bit more about, not playing out in the open and not playing on point. I want you to let your team, let your team be the ones to push. Try to play in, like, slightly safer positions, where you can see your team, you could get vision of the enemy team for sleeps, nades, and damage, and you have cover that you could quickly duck behind if necessary. Especially, like, if your team's moving forward, I don't want you hard scoping. I want you, hip firing, moving with them. And if your team, like on second defense, where they were taking that very, aggressive vision, I'd like to see you, instead of playing back, I'd like to see you just try to take that angle with them and get the same vision. But that's all I have for now. Let me know if you have any questions. If anyone would like to request a VOD review, check the link in the description, and best of luck with your climb.